We are back at Daytona after a couple of exciting dual races. It is now time for the big one, the Gracious Gardens 500, where history will be made not only for the TSCRS, but also within Daytona's legacy as a whole. Excuse me. My name is Max Speed, and alongside me, as always, throughout the entire race weekend, I have Joshua Black. Joshua, what can we expect to see at Daytona for the big race today, given what we saw with the duels?
I mean, considering what we saw with the duels, it could definitely be based on several different things. Fuel mileage could be key depending on how long we got of a race today, and we had a lot of aggression throughout the duels when it came to the go or go home cars. Could we see aggression throughout this race, depending on when the drafting and all that happens?
That is as there's a lot on the line here for this being the TSCRS's first ever sanctioned race. And you can bet all 42 drivers are looking to be a part of history here and say, I won the first ever race sanctioned by the Thunderstock Car Racing Series.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, it would be a huge honor, and it'd be a good set standard in case if this winner of this race later goes on to win the first championship and set themselves up as one of the best drivers in the series. It could be determined. The rest of the season could be determined by this race. Who knows at this point?
That's also a key point. With how much money's on the line, too, teams will definitely get a hefty paycheck if they win it all, and that could set them up exponentially. Now, Max, and Joshua, we will provide live step by step coverage, lap by lap, for the Thunderstock Car Racing Series Network. We are ready to give you a show. With that being said, here is today's starting lineup. Row 1 is the 65 of Orlando Harlow and the 61 of Carl Young. If you remember, Sustrai was supposed to be in that spot, but he DNF'd in his dual race, and the officials decided that because he went to a backup car, he has to start in the rear of the field. So we'll have to see if he can work his way up from that. Starting in row 2 is the 51 of Alex Trek, your dual 1 winner, and the 45 of Alexander Will.
Row 3, we got the 95 Ben Gulrich and the 115 of Dr. Dirt Crusher, who had a pretty great duel on the outside lane, finishing second. In row 4, we got Ricky Bobby in the 126 and Jeff Bolton in the number 26.
Yeah, and an impressive set of duels for Sky Motorsports, considering that they ended up, at least for the outside line, they ended up in the top 5, which gave them their really good starting spot. Row 5,
Absolutely.
yeah, row 5 finds the 36 of Scott Ingraham, and the gutsy move of just staying out. It's Kurt Raloff in the 125. In row 6, we find Bobby Jones in the 42 and the 117 of Gabriel Olson. And considering how Jones did throughout this weekend, he finished ninth in practice, third fastest in qualifying, and yes, he's starting in 11th, but he's probably been one of the most consistent drivers out there this race weekend. If I had to
Absolutely.
if I had to pick someone to win this race, my most likely candidate would be Bobby Jones. I'd keep an eye out on the 42 Spotify car today.
Definitely. In row 7, we got the 121 of Amy Hicks and the 84 of Davey Apex. In row 8, we got Dave Clark in the 143 and Sebastian Cooper in the 112. One thing I gotta say about that 84 car, he's the teammate to Kyler Sustry, who unfortunately has to start at the rear of the field today, will that set up to something? Because Kyler has to go from the back of the field, but when Kyler eventually comes back, who knows? Could we see teammates hook up?
That is something we will be keeping an eye out for you. As we go to row 9, it's the 5 of Ascudo Euromina in the number 5 Napa Ford. And in her outside will be the 32 of William Ayers. Starting in row 10, Euromina's teammate, the 66 Team Dynamics part-time car. It's Rosalind Delacroix. And starting beside her is the 43 of Derek Petty. The team owner of Bobby Jones is 42. And the fact that the other Petty car, the Petty Motor Club car, starting,
45.
yep, Alexander Will, starting up near the front too. Keep an eye on the
Absolute.
43. Honestly,
Yep.
could probably keep an eye out on all three of those cars.
Absolutely. I mean, they've shown a lot of speed this week. This could be very interesting to see. In row number 11, we got the 15 of Chris Martins and the 133 of David Langford. In row 12, we got Jon Snow in the 108 and Husani Miku in the 102. This is going to be interesting because this is where we get.
Well, it seems
Oh,
like while we work with Joshua's mic, row 13 finds the 69 of Wesley Tata and the 111 of Jessica Sweetwater. Row 14 finds the 122 of Ed Grantham and the 119 of TJ Carroll.
there we go. In row 15, we got White Wilkinson, the 1, and the 120 of Guy Turrent. And in row 16, we got the 110 of Buster Caldwell and the 33 of Mert Goral. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see how some of these cars fare out in this race because some of these cars are starting deep in the field. Could we see a possible? Could we see these cars make their way up front?
I would not count that out because two of the Daredevil cars starting back to back, and that includes Caden Lemon in the 57. He had a bad weekend, but given how his teammate Harlow, our pole sitter, he had a bad practice, but yet was fastest overall in qualifying. And because of the nature of Daytona, Daredevil Motorsports, just, I wouldn't be surprised if Lemon and Wilkinson hook up pretty early and push their way to the front. And besides, Lemon will be the 144 of Cheryl King. Row
Oh,
18 finds the 52 of Tom Clyde and the third part-time car for Revolting Motorsports, who's managed to avoid the mayhem that Sustrai was in just because he wasn't at the part of the track where it happened, the 79 of Colin Cropley.
in row 19, we got the 25 of Angel Gutierrez, who had a big issue in his duel that caused him to be in the back, followed by, on the outside, Scotty Lopez for Riften Motorsports. And in row 20, we got Larson Martinez in the number 6 for Team Dynamics. And the number 48, our former outside pole sitter, Kyler Sustry, who had to go to a backup car due to his wreck in Duel 2.
It's just a shame for Gutierrez and Sustrai. They had a chance to either keep their starting position or drastically improve. One just ran out of gas, miscalculation. The other one was just a victim of circumstance, a racing incident, heading off a pit road. Just a little tap, and he just lost the car, went in the wall, and totaled it.
Absolutely.
And rounding out the field in the final row will be the 72 of Clayton Sessom and the 31 of Evan Marici.
It's going to be tough to see how these two get. all their way up to the front of the field because not only are they starting at the rear of the field, but that 31 was shown as a strong car this weekend because he has some good speed. Could we see the 31 for Shock Point Racing get up to the front?
Key point right there because Shock Point was 4th, 8th, and 12th fastest in qualifying. So we know those cars also have the speed. But it's just coordination I'm more worried about because they. Now, this could be different because we have a longer race here in the actual event than compared to the duels. So they might actually be more content to work with that rather than battle each other for position. We'll just have to wait and see. But one question I have about Shock Point as of now, will they be willing to just go for it all, or will they be content to work together and wait until the right time? That's why I'm part of the reason why I'm hesitant to award them as one of the favorites, but with their speed outputting, it's not beyond the realm of possibility. Actually, anyone realistically can win this just because the way plate racing is.
Absolutely. Play racing is the name of the game today.
And we have total of a 50 laps with this time a full tank that will last about 32 laps, meaning the approximate time which you can pit at the earliest would be lap 20 and you would be able to make it the rest of the way. But we did see in the duels, as long as you didn't run out of gas, later is generally better. I
As,
assume they will push the tank to
as,
the limit.
as far as they can possibly take it.
Yeah, it just makes total sense. If I were a crew chief, I would just stick it out and we saw 4 wide. That's when things get a
A
little
little, a
and
little too crazy.
they were able to hold it in duel 2 pretty well. Like it didn't happen much in duel 1, but in duel 2 it was really they were
Crazy.
yeah. If they were able to hold it that long, there's a good chance that they could hold it to lap 20. If a caution doesn't fly out until that lap 20, the magical lap 20, I could see the whole field just also pit there too. So
Yeah.
if I were a crew chief, you pit at the end of your fuel window if there's no caution, and if a caution does fly, as long as it's past lap 20 and you haven't pit already, you go in under yellow.
One thing I was going to mention is the forecast. It's partly cloudy and it's 61 degrees, but the wind is significantly less than the duels. It was blowing around 20 to nearly 30 miles an hour in duels 1 and 2, but today it's only a 7 mile per hour wind blowing to the northwest.
Yeah, that
So,
cold front really made things colder, but it also, after that system overnight went through, thankfully the track is dry, it really lowered the temperature. And one thing we have to keep an eye out, winner's purse, 1.5 million on the line for whoever wins it. Will we see extra aggression because you win? Teams can really set themselves up for success with that amount.
absolutely. When it comes to these big teams, that could help them out as it could set them up as a powerhouse in the series. And if it's for a small team, it could set them up big time.
Like,
I'm
yeah,
talking I'm talking about the team like the 95. If he wins, that could be big for that Ravage Racing.
it
That
will
could be pretty big for him.
it will be big for whoever wins it. And
Absolutely.
I have a feeling whoever wins this and claims the 1.5 million paycheck, we might see ripple effects from this race. So at the end of the
Mm,
year, we might actually look back at this Gracious Gardens 500 and say that was a key point to deciding the championship. And this is only the first race.
yeah, like it's like what I said earlier. What will drivers do to win this race? This huge purse could be one of those benefactors. They want to help their team out. They want to make sure their team becomes a powerhouse and stays in the series. I will not be shocked to see so much aggression today.
And will that be a sign of the big one or not? We are about to find out as well as you. We will be back after this break to show you the start of the Gracious Gardens 500. We're back. You're watching the Thunder Stock Car Racing Network, Thunder Stock Car Racing Series Network. This is coverage of the Gracious Gardens 500. I'm Max Speed. Beside me is Joshua Black. We are ready to give you all the action as this race is just about to head underway as the field heads to the green flag led by Orlando Harlow.
This is gonna be very exciting because here they come. Pace car coming on the pit road, making the hard left turn. Here they come down to the green flag. The Gracious Gardens 500 for the inaugural race is underway.
No clear jump. Things shaking out exactly what we originally expected at the moment. Oh, there's Trek. He's making a move.
Shrek, I forgot to mention him in the pre-race, but he shot a lot of guys in that Subaru. This shows that they've got a lot of speed this week. But will we see possible? Here comes the 95 as he's going to try to take the lead.
One of those
To the
single car teams, Rabbits Racing, driver and owner, Ben Gorich.
Oh, and here comes Ricky Bobby in the 126. He's going to take the lead.
Who will lead our first ever lap? It's going to be Ricky Bobby. As four wide. Four
Oh
wide.
my! It's 4 wide already. This is a sign that disaster is gonna happen. Though 36 is caught up with the 95. Oh my goodness. Oh boy.
Oh,
Oh
we have
no.
problems
There it is.
already.
There it is.
We are under caution already.
The big one.
Oh,
Wyatt Wilkinson.
yeah.
I saw Wyatt Wilkinson.
He doesn't seem to be banged up that bad. The
The
Torrent seems
one.
to be out. Gorich involved. He doesn't seem to be that banged up.
The
As
5.
yeah, Yulomina, she seems
Oh.
generally okay.
Oh my gosh.
And
This
Ricky
is
Bobby was involved.
the original leader. Oh my goodness. What did I say? Oh, and
Oh,
there's
Larson
Martinez.
Martinez. I think she had nowhere to go and was a victim of this too.
Oh man, you gotta be kidding me. On lap number 2, we have our first wreck, but oh my gosh, the aggression was just way too much too early. Ay ay ay.
Well, we will get you a replay of exactly what caused this wreck. Following Ricky Bobby in a different camera.
And it looks like it was contact between him and the 36 of Scott Ingraham. And there's a 6 getting involved. That was with the 180
I believe
with Guy
120.
Turrent. 120 of Guy Turrent. And Turrent's car is junked after that one.
On board with what?
Wilkerson.
Looks like he has it. Oh,
And then,
he
oh
ran
no,
into
no.
him. Sort of like,
I
not sure if
know,
that
I
was
thought
intentional, but that was an odd. It looked like he
move.
had, yeah. It
It
looked
looked like
like,
he collected his team on too.
Yeah, but at that
England.
point, he was under. He had no control.
Oh, not at all. Like, just like, oh my gosh.
Following Miku now. Yeah, oh, I think Bobby just got out of shape, and if you look at the top left, Derek Petty also got a licking too.
So a lot of cars that unexpectedly got involved ends up with a lot of damage. End up with a little bit of damage.
In the Torrance, yep,
On board. Just kind of slow. Oh. Oh.
yeah, he
It was
just tried to avoid
tried to sneak
Bobby,
and then he ran into the rear of the 122 and then got slammed by the 6.
which would explain how Martinez ended her race. Following the Japanese native Atsuko, she does a general good job, but oh, Gorich gets into her.
Nobody hits her, for what I know.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like she was too banged up. I think she actually still has a car that could win this, believe it or not.
95, possibly.
And on board with Gorich, yeah,
Right
Inderham
there.
just he was pinched with Clark. Bobby was a victim, and
The 95 just got bumped by the 5.
something like that. Yeah. And it looks like he's able to drive off from that, so maybe not too much of damage. So it doesn't look like his race is totally done yet either. He did also find
Well,
this, just going through the...
oh, Go Rick and Wyatt Wilkinson got into it.
I have no idea what the point of that was.
The world.
Well, with that, Bobby Jones is your leader right now. I do believe Pit... Yeah, I do believe Pit Road will be open.
But
We'll
I
just
don't see
see.
anybody coming in.
Yeah, it's too early. Maybe the damaged cars. Yeah, probably only those that were damaged for repairs.
I do see a couple of back cars getting into it a little bit.
Yeah, so
Here's to the 30.
Bobby, Go Rich, Wilkinson, Caldwell. I'm not sure if he got involved, as with Lopez and Sessom. Marici, Grantham, Sweetwater, Petty, all of them just heading into pit road. Seems like Ascudo Yulomina, the only one that was involved. Notably, she did spin. I don't think she pitted because the damage was fairly minimal.
Mm-hmm.
So we're rotating through. I'm not seeing any other cars with damage. So it does look like, generally speaking, we are be okay.
Mm-hmm.
We only have 3 retirees from that entire wreck as of now. Don't think we're going to see any more. So amazingly, despite all that, we only lost 3 cars.
Surprising.
That realistically means we could see another bigger wreck. Let's hope not, but because
Hope not.
yeah, but because they go double file restarts,
It's
it wouldn't.
possible.
Yeah, I mean, we already saw aggression from the get go. So, with it under yellow, let us review the top 10. In first place, we have Bobby Jones. In second place, we find the 51 of Alex Trek. Third, our pole sitter, Orlando Harlow. Fourth is the 121 of Amy Hicks. In fifth place, we find Carl Young. Sixth place, Alexander Will. Seventh, the guy who was part of it, but not necessarily at fault here, Dave Clark. I think he was just pinched, and he just was a victim. Eighth finds Dr. Dirt Crusher. Ninth is Kurt Raloff, and rounding out the top 10 will be Ingraham.
I think Ingraham was the guy who really touched all that off because he was stuck in the middle of a situation between Dave Clark and Ricky Bobby, and that's what caused the contact. Surprised to see him up there in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, there's no real clear damage. If anything, maybe it's just a paint scraper on that 36 Kodiak Ford. Don't see anything too worried about if you're Ingraham. I think he will be relatively fine. Now, it will be interesting to see those cars that pitted. Would they be able to keep up, or will the officiating body be forced to just call them in and end their race early just for not meeting minimum speed? And I have no idea why Wilkinson is driving this slow. Oh, is he heading back in? Is there an issue with the one car?
Oh my goodness.
He was involved in that wreck, then he got a bump from behind. Did they miss something?
It could be possible.
Yeah,
Changing tires.
that is an interesting play. I don't like it. He will have to go a second time if he. Yeah, I'm not sure what this does. Maybe the thinking is because it's under yellow, he will be able to catch back up. I mean, he did spin around a lot, so maybe they wanted to be safe, make sure all the tires were. They had some life in them.
Mm.
Well, it looks like they did do a good job of repairing that rear. Doesn't look too much worse for wear after service the first go around. Unlike some other cars, it looks like, as we are with one to go. As the field enters turn 3, we will head double file for the restart.
Field now going double file as we are coming off a turn 4. The pace car will be coming in this time around as the pace car.
Gets ready to make the dive in.
He's going to make the hard left turn onto pit road, and they're coming down for the first restart of this series. Here they come down. The green flag is back out. We are back underway for the Gracious Gardens 500
And Alex Trek, your
with a
dual,
clear jump.
yeah, your dual one winner.
Not
Yeah,
afraid to show. He made that
just
outside work.
showing Subaru muscle. When news broke that
Oh,
Subaru would be making their entry into the Thunderstock Car Racing Series, I don't think anyone expected them to do that
this
well.
amount.
And just from the start, this is a promising sign for them.
But Bobby Jones is going to make sure that start doesn't start out too well. But here comes Harlow now, the pole sitter, trying to make sure that he gets the lead back with help from Carl Young.
And looks like that will happen.
Oh,
Oh wow.
here comes Young.
If you
But
look
it's going to
from
be
behind, there's a bunch of slow cars.
the 43, the 126, and the 1. What will the officials do in their circumstance?
Yeah, and
So far,
Goich. I don't know how Miku is running that slow. I think she just got a bad start. Doesn't look too bad for the others, though.
huh. Hmm. Just depends on what they do with the officials, especially for that 126 and the 43, considering the amount of damage they have.
Well, we will give. I think the officials. We will have. I'm getting control. I'm getting a message from race control. They said verbatim, we will give them a couple laps to see if they can meet minimum speed.
Here comes one of the other Subarus, the 15. He's going to have the lead, but here comes the 84 of Davy Apex.
I'm not
He's
sure
going
he
to
has the move.
Here comes the 66, the part-time car for Team Dynamics, as she's gonna make it 3 wide with Apex and the 32 of Airs, who I was gonna mention. But look at who that is behind the 66. That's the 48 of Kyler Sustry.
Working his way
Starting.
back up there.
Wow.
Well,
He.
yeah, impressive run. Well, it seems like the field is content for the most part, so we will head to break and be back shortly for continued coverage of the Gracious Gardens 500. We are back, and Rosalind De La Croix is up front.
We also got some news on some of the cars in the back. Several cars have been DQ'd for not meeting minimal speed.
This will
That being
be
the 43 of Derek Petty, the 126 of Ricky Bobby, the 95 of Ben Gorick, the 1 of Wyatt Wilkinson, and the 102 of Hyasi Miku, who have not met minimal speed since this restart. So their race is effectively done.
yeah, they were all involved in that wreck, and in some tracks you can get away with damage. They were just too heavily damaged to keep on going, unfortunately. I mean, they were able to drive, but you have to keep a minimum speed in order for safe racing. The officials just decided they were not going that fast, and for the safety reasons, they decided to pull. Oh, there's a wreck already!
Oh, there's a
Dirt
spinner!
Crusher! Snow! That's Mert
Merge!
involved.
Merge! And then who's the other guy? That is
Tom
the
Clyde,
52, Tom Glide.
52.
What in the world happened here?
I don't think it was that bad of a wreck, though. I'm not sure what happened.
We were talk, we were just getting done talking about the cars that got DQ'd, and then all of a sudden, coming off of the front straightaway, this happens.
Doesn't look too major of a wreck, although, now that I mention it, looks like Snow has some serious damage on his left and a little bit on the rear. We'll get
Yeah.
you a replay of what just happened here. Watching Tom Clyde, it looks like there was a four-wide situation with him,
And
Cropley,
Colin, really.
yeah, and it just created a spin-out situation of sorts.
Yeah. So Cropley, unintentionally got into the 52, and that's what triggers this
Yep, following
stopper
properly.
here. Let's see what happens here. Yep,
Oh,
just contact. And then Mert got bumped by the 108 of snow, and that's what got him spinning. But I
impressive
don't see a
though.
lot
I
of.
think. Yeah, I'm not.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm not sure it was intentional, but
no,
impressive that Cropley even managed to get through that, considering he was right in front of it.
now watching Dr. Dirt Crusher to see how he got into this mess.
Oh, it
Let's
wasn't even
see.
3 wide, and oh,
Whoa,
Snow tagged him.
Snow tagged Dr. Dirt Crusher and then got into Mert.
That looks like it. We'll just look at Mert's point of view to be sure.
I know
Following,
more than.
yep, following
Oh,
Mert.
you're very calm now. Right there.
Yeah, he just Mert had nowhere to go.
They know where to go.
I think he will. Everyone will be able to make minimum speed from this, even with what damage, because you can see there's a little bit of damage on the 33.
But there was damage to the 108 too, so oh boy.
Yeah, if anyone's gonna get fooled from this because of not minimum speed, it'd probably be Snow, but I think everyone will be able to keep going. So after all that, we will get you a refresher as to your current running order right after this lap. See who goes in pit road. Currently, Delacroix is your leader.
By Jones, the 144 of
Gerald King,
Cheryl King, and then Angel Gutierrez in the 25, Clark in the 143, the 133 of
David
oh
Langford,
David Langford, the 45 of Alexander Will, and it looks like oh my goodness, looks like everybody's coming in. It looks like everybody's coming in.
and we will just stick to this camera and see the race off pit road for you. As I know it's not the most exciting camera, but we will be able to see who wins the race off pit road. As you can see, pit service being done to several cars right now. It seems like it's going to be a 4-tire pit stop for everyone involved. Oh, Cheryl
Oh,
King.
King. King's gonna win the race off of pit road.
Now, was that because she took only 2 tires, or did she actually took 4?
Hmm. This could be interesting.
I mean, it is Daytona, so it's not like tire wear should be a huge factor. It is something interesting to note, though.
Mm-hmm.
But it does look like the running order is generally unchanged.
Oh, looked like we had a little bit of a disagreement there between the 144 and the 66 there.
Trying to just get into the line. Let us take a look at the race off the pit road and how that shook the lineup. Now your race leader, Cheryl King, followed by Delacroix in second, Gutierrez in third, Jones in fourth, Langford fifth, Clark is in sixth, Schuster is running seventh, and no, seems like we have more people heading back in. Apex, he picked up some
Has a lot
damage
of
somewhere.
damage. What in the world? And I think I saw Lemon coming in as well.
You would not be mistaken on that.
What in the world has happened here?
Hmm. Well, we are not picking him up in any of our cameras.
Oh, could there be a possible mechanical issue on that 57, or could it have
They
been
just
with
pulled him
a...
in. They just
Oh
pulled him
my...
in. Like, that was a conscientious decision. There's no
What?
wonder if. Hmm. Yeah,
What?
so it sounds like, according to team radio, they're sensing something about the car just feeling wrong. Like there's a vibration, and they felt that something was about to break. Now, there was no official failure, nothing's broken yet, so he's just listed as retired, but it was a decision to take the car in to prevent any further damage to the, what I'm being told is, the chassis.
Wow.
And I
And
don't.
then...
Hmm.
Oh, and the 84 is out. Apex is out of this race.
Yeah, oh, wow. Well, whatever caused that damage, you just. We don't. We'll find out what in the world happened with Apex. Well, we're finding out what happened to.
Oh. Oh, and Suicide got involved in that.
And Lopez really took a lick from that, but it looks
So,
like Apex was the unlucky participant within that whole series of
oh
events.
dear. What in the world?
Following Dave Clark,
Let's see here.
what in the.
What in the world?
He just.
Just talk to him.
I don't think the officials will be too happy with that.
No, they will not. I'm not happy. I'm not happy with that at all.
Yeah, the
Like,
officials are gonna definitely be
give a
pulling him in
judgment.
the. Yeah, they'll be calling him to the hauler after the race or something like that. I don't think this is getting away that easily.
No, they will not. And there's damage to the 48 caused by this.
Okay, yeah, I think the officials are gonna do something about this. And as we thought, the officials have made their decision rather quickly. They have black flagged the 143 for reckless driving, putting Sustrai into the wall.
That was very uncalled for by the 143, and I am very... That would have been my pick as well by the officials, because that was not only extremely borderline, but that was just, it was uncalled for, especially under caution. On a racetrack, definitely uncalled for, but it could happen. But but under caution, that sort of thing should never happen.
And he had plenty of time to even avoid the contact too. Like, if
And
he had
slow.
kept his line, just turned a little to the left, we could have avoided all this.
So, coming around this time, we will see the 143 probably dip down onto pit road.
To serve as penalty.
hmm
So yeah, that will majorly hamper his efforts. And this might affect Sustrai too, just because of the damage. this could be a top 5 only lead pack group.
Here we go.
We are about to find out the consequences of that move.
On the pit road. Oh! He did not come to pit road. He'll come to pit road next time around. Green flag is back out, and the 66 is going to take advantage.
I imagine that he will have a couple of laps to try to serve that penalty, the 143 of Dave Clark, before the officials just say enough's enough.
And pull him off the track. Who knows?
Yeah,
Because if there's one thing you don't want, is the ire of the officials looming over you. You do not want to.
Yeah, and the officials, they quickly made their intentions known.
Yes. You do not want to draw the ire of the officials. Absolutely not.
As it looks like, yes, Clark is heading in to serve his penalty.
So good on Clark by that decision. And meanwhile, the 66 of Delacroix has taken the lead.
Since
Followed
the start
by.
of that restart.
Oh,
So yeah, Apex also suffered thermal damage as previously mentioned. There doesn't seem to be
too
any
much.
other yeah. It was a
Casualties.
relatively minor wreck.
Mm-hmm.
No one seems to be lagging too far behind. Don't think we will see the officials call anyone in pit road because they are not meeting minimum speed. I think we are good on that department.
Alright. Right now, we got a 3-wide battle for the lead, and look at
Second,
that. Our first example of teammates locking up and working together. The
or this
42 of
could
Bobby
turn
Jones.
4 wide. This could turn 4 wide, but
Oh,
Gutierrez
great.
wisely pulls out, as does Will. No 4 wide here.
But yeah, I saw something right there. The first example of teammates working together.
That we can clearly see.
They are not right now. But the 144 has decided, I don't want to be back here. I want my lead back. But right
Who
now,
doesn't?
yeah. But Bobby Jones showing the speed of the Petty Motor Club.
Yeah, showing why he's the guy to watch out for this race. He's not far behind.
I mean, the 66 has opened up a interesting lead here.
But I don't think it's going to last.
Nope.
Yeah,
And
it's sort of closing in.
I think that 48 is a little bit slow, but he's maintaining minimal speed, but he has caused both packs to just separate.
Well, I wouldn't say both packs because Dirt Crusher, like, all these cars, well, Lando, Olsen, Bolton, Rayloff, like, some of these
Lopez,
cars, they weren't involved in anything.
and they're
It's
just hanging back for the sake of hanging back.
Well, I wouldn't even say that. I'm just saying that they just so happen to have been wrong place in the wrong time because they're just behind cars that were involved in wrecks. They just had a little bit of damage, and that's just throwing them off.
And that 32 is getting slowed up by the 48, and I can believe if I can believe airs. He's like, "Get this guy out of my way!"
Yeah, probably yelling within the officials to pull the 48 out, but I
I
don't think they will be
know.
pulling Shoestry out of this.
Ay.
Delacroix, your current leader.
Probably moving the second.
The part-time entry, and she has somewhat of a gap. Is everyone just not interested in working together to try to close that gap?
They might be saving something.
Because
They might be
Clark,
saving something.
he served his penalty, so that explains why he's running as slow as he is. So
He will not be pulled.
he's not. No, he's not going to be pulled. He has no clear damage.
And he has no draft. That's why.
That's more of a drafting issue. Speaking of the draft, Cropley, he got him. He's probably the only viable Revolting Motorsports car to win this race. He's up into second.
And look at who's behind him, the 69 of Wesley Tata, as he's going to try to battle with him.
And we'll have to keep an eye out on Clark as we're past the halfway point. Keep an eye on the 143 of Dave Clark when this group of lead pack cars reaches him.
This could cause shenanigans, and if there's one thing I don't like when it comes to lap cars, is lap car shenanigans.
Thankfully for us, I think he will be able to keep up with in the draft because of the state of his car. But yeah, still, he needs a caution to pretty much get himself back into this race. And even
Yeah,
then, with the damaged cars that will be in front of him, will he even be able to come back and win this race?
absolutely.
I think
As
that penalty
one
was
guy,
just a bit too much for him.
yeah, I was about to say, one thing a legendary driver would say about those lap cars is like, don't dang lap cars. They just don't. Ay.
Yeah, it seems Delacroix might be the favorite at this point. She has been in the lead since this restart after passing King and seems to have been creating a gap, although Tada closing in. See what Clark does. He holds the middle line. And I don't think that will. Yeah.
That will not be good for the guys on the outside lane.
Although I think it won't be that bad. I think it would just be an extra car to work with to move up in the order. So I don't think it's that bad of a deal for them. It's Bobby Jones and Cheryl King. They're working their way back up, putting pressure on LaCroix.
Look at how
Benching.
much that pack has been separated from this pack. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that is about a 2 to 3 second gap.
They're going to need a caution to probably get back into this.
Yeah, but with the way the field's racing right now, barring a mechanical failure, I don't see any happening. As Gutierrez,
Ay.
he's inching his way up. He's moving forward, trying to catch Croy to make a move as here comes a Riften car, also trying to make that move. That would be Alex Trek.
Well, what did I say about Riften Motorsports? They've shown a lot of speed this weekend, and this is indicative of that. They've shown a lot of speed this weekend, and right now they're in the top 5, battling for a possible win in the
Yep.
inaugural race of the TSCRS. My bad for that blunder there.
Yeah. Oh, Gutierrez forcing the issue. He forced Delacroix to go high. That's gonna give we'll see what it is at the line. And
It
yes,
is.
with Trek pushing him, yes, Gutierrez is your new leader. But
Here
Alex
comes Trek
Trek,
to the
he
inside.
wants that lead. And I think
It's
he
like,
got it with Young giving help.
who is that car behind Young?
Say that's Alexander Will, although that could be
I think
Carroll
it's
in the 119.
the 119.
Well, and then it became Carroll actually, as Young is your new race leader.
If we see a possible situation where there could be a lapped car in front of everybody, this could be interesting.
Oh, we have
Get
another wreck!
on the
Sebastian
car!
Cooper!
What did I say?
Tada!
Oh my! I knew it! I knew they were being a little bit too anxious, and that's the cause of it.
That is the third caution today. And I think it's just a two-car incident. I'm not too positive on that. As we watch the race back to the line. And yes, it will be Carl Young who leads them back to the line. Well, we will get you a replay as to this wreck just in a moment. Following Tada,
And it's Cropley again.
again, he's been involved in this, and I think he just spun out Cooper and collected Tada.
Oh my gosh. Talk about becoming the enemy of the field.
Watching our drone camera, I think there's a little bit of four-wide action, and Cropley just
Probably just got into the Cooper, and that caused that one.
Or either way, Cropley has been warned by race officials that even if it's by accident, gets into something like this again, he will be black flagged. So as we were saying, the officials have made their point with Cropley.
He has been given a warning. He's been given a warning for rough driving. He was involved in one of the first incidents with Tom Clyde earlier, and this is his second incident. If he even gets into one more incident where he's the cause of it, he could be black flagged.
Yep. And meanwhile, guess who is the lucky dog after this? It's Dave Clark.
So Clark doesn't even stay a lap down for too long, as he will be the lucky
Waived pretty
dog.
soon. After this series of pit stops, he will be waived
Everybody will be coming
after
down.
this lap because he is a lap down pit right now. So we will just wait until lap 34's pass, and then the officials will give him his waiver round unless he's already gained the lap back. Now we will see who wins this race off pit road. It looks like it's going to be a two-tire stop, I'm guessing. Yes, it is, but Delacroix,
Delacroix.
she's the one who wins the race off pit road. And she had a dominant run before that yellow when she got up front in clean air. So, what this could mean? The Dynamics team, with their part-time entry,
What I was about to say is there was cars that stayed out.
but they're all left down.
48.
But this will be a key here. If Clark does not pit, he will just get his waiver. He will be waved around. As Tada did retire from that wreck, the damage being too severe.
So one Sky Racing car is out.
The others
One
are
Sky
lapped down,
Motorsports.
so Carl Young is the only one who really can win this.
Oh, and he is coming to pit road.
Have
Oh, and
we?
Clark did come to pit road.
Yeah. So he
Hmm.
will still be a lap down after leaving pit road. So as soon as he leaves pit road, he will be able to get his lap back. As we will be back after the break. We are back here watching the Thunder Stock Car Racing Series Network. I'm Max Speed, beside me Joshua Black, and while we are under caution, we have had an eventful Gracious Gardens 500.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, we've had a lot of aggression through the roof in certain parts of this race, but we've had a lot of strategy too. But one thing that I will say that has been brought up all this race is the aggression. There's been so much aggression within some of these drivers, and it has caused a lot of cars to get wrecked.
We have 3 cautions, and looking at our leaderboard, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cars, I believe, that are not on track. And a bunch of them were pulled for not meeting minimum speed. We have, after waiver rounds, we only have 31 cars on the track, all of them on the lead lap. As Rosalind Delacroix is our current leader, heading to what is the final lap of this caution. In second, we have Carl Young. Third, Alexander Will. Fourth, TJ Carroll. Fifth, Angel Gutierrez. Sixth is Cheryl King. Seventh, Colin Cropley. He's been warned. He was the catalyst of multiple wrecks. Eighth is David Langford. Ninth, Alec Trek. And 10th will be Ingraham in the 36.
I was about to say about Colin Cropley, he's kind of become the enemy of the field today based on the involvement of the wrecks he's been involved in. He's been the catalyst of several wrecks today. Could that be a possible benefactor for the series if he's been the aggressor today?
Well, he is in a part-time car, so it's not like we'll be seeing him every week. But to Cropley's credit, he hasn't been trying to get involved in this. He's just been sort of unlucky. So that's just why he has a warning after 2 wrecks. The officials have made their point clear, like, we get accidents happen, but you have to tone it down a bit. As Dave Clark, he was previously penalized for turning Sustrai into the wall under yellow. As the pace
That's
car
a
pulls
press.
in, green flags out, Carl Young gets the jump. We are back underway on lap 37.
But Delcoy gonna hold strong on that inside lane as we have a battle for the lead. Oh, here comes Will to the inside. Alexander Will.
That's one of the petty cars. We've been saying all week they're one of the strongest cars out there. Yeah, Petty himself, he was disqualified because he didn't meet minimum speed. He was involved in that first wreck, so that was not a good testament. But the fact that one of his cars is out up front, Alexander Will, that's just That's just another reason to say, watch out for Motor Club.
especially going into this season. But another driver I want to keep my eye on is Angel Gutierrez. He's going to try to battle for the lead. The
After
25.
his blunder in the duel, running out of gas, he's worked his way back up. Could this be a redemption run for him, winning it all?
Here comes Cropley in the 79, and
I believe that's
oh
the
boy,
121 of Amy Hicks trying to go low.
3 wide. Oh boy.
It's four wide
I was
when trouble
gonna,
really happens.
yes, but I was about to say when Cropley got the lead. Oh boy, I thought I heard him. Thought I heard the fans not very happy. Oh boy.
Well, meanwhile, Hicks trying to make a run, but Cropley is scored your leader after lap 38. 3 wide for the lead. Amy Hicks making her move.
The packs have sort of separated a little bit, but I can
Again,
see.
due to damage from those slower cars.
But that second pack is led by an undamaged car, the 32 of William Ayers, short track racer turned full time racer of the series, as he's going to get passed by Bobby Jones.
I do think, though, that some of these cars can work their way back up. No one's no one is meeting minimum speed fair. Like, they're not failing minimum speed, so the officials aren't going to pull anyone. As Clark seems to have rebounded quite nicely after his penalty, given the previous caution, and he was the lucky dog.
And now the field is starting to build back up. This is where things is going to get interesting. This is where the trouble usually starts to happen. These big packs cause so much problems.
At Ingraham, he was trying to make a move, but he decided to go behind Amy Hicks instead. That means,
That's going to be the
as
5,
yeah, Escudo Yelomina,
who was
may
involved
she
in that
make a
first.
move? Yeah, she was involved in that first wreck, but the damage was fairly minimal. It was like she was
And
more tapped. She has a chance to go for the lead,
absolutely. But the 121 has opened a little bit of a gap.
which is surprising considering what she showed. No one really expected any of the cars that had to race their way in to show this much speed.
Absolutely not. I mean, this is surprising me a little bit.
It does look like the pack is slowly reeling in Amy. So, and there's still plenty of time left. So it's not like it's out of the question as Ingraham blocks Escuda as the 5 car. Pardon
I
me.
mean, as we have 9 laps remaining.
Amy Hicks is your current leader.
This will be a huge confidence. This will be a huge confidence giver for Amy Hicks for her to get this win, because she's, like we said, she's one of go or go home cars.
Heading into
It,
this.
they need a win like this.
Yeah. Scott Ingraham, Digital Strings GP. He's
And now,
like their only chance of winning out of the 2 car effort. It's their full time ride. He's in their full time car. Their other car, Clayton Sessom,
the
he
part-time car.
is and he's running back. Like, he's not running that well. Like, this whole weekend for Sesame was not been too kind. I Well, Ingraham, he's battling for the lead. I'm betting that Sesame's like, when is this race over?
When is this race going to end?
It has not been a race for him to remember. It might be a race for Ingraham to remember, but he has to get past Hicks first.
And now they're separating. Now they're all trying to separate, and they're all getting a little aggressive.
Well, we are soon reaching that time as TJ Carroll makes a move. It looks like he will get past Ingraham.
And it looks like they've left Gutierrez out to dry.
Alec Trek, Dual 1 winner. He's pushing Carroll. That will push Carroll into second. Can Rifton, Dual 1 winner. Can Rifton Motorsports and Alec Trek, could they win this?
Showing that Subaru speed.
Seems like the 51 is the fastest of those three Subarus in the field. He's going to try to make a move. I think Escudo, she's trying to make a move. Can Yolomina force the issue? I think she does, as Trek is in the middle line. Now turned the high line.
And look at who's that on the inside. That is Lando Harlow. And here comes the 51 for the lead. Trek going for the lead.
Can he pull this off? With just 5 laps to go, I think he will lead lap 45. Yes, he will at the line. 5 laps to go.
Look at who's third. Our pole sitter. Don't count out Lando Harlow.
The Daredevil Motorsports team, they had a terrible day. Wilkinson got pulled because he did not meet minimum speed after an incident. And then Lemon, just an issue with the 57. So to see that is an encouraging sign for them. But Hicks is not giving up first place without a fight. Yolomina giving support in that effort. Outside line sort of working here.
They're battling big time.
Hicks is scored the leader. 4 laps to go.
This is huge. This is
Trek takes the lead back. Harlow giving drafting help.
From Carl Young right now, but what will happen off of this turn? Will Carl Young push the issue?
Is trying to push the issue. Forces Harlow to go up high. And Trek, he tries to block Hicks. He might be trying to block everyone now.
That's the advantage of draft racing.
Looks like Trek.
That's one advantage of draft racing right there.
Looks like Trek will lead lap 47, 3 to go.
Here they come.
Trying to make a move. But there doesn't seem to be any clear-cut help. I think Alec Trek will hold on to this for the time being.
Who knows? Who knows at this point?
The field behind him is the front of the pack behind him. It's not directly organized, and that does not play well to Carl's advantage. But he's gonna make the move anyway.
He's pushing the issue.
Delacroix is closer to Young than Harlow is to Trek. Carl Young will be your new leader, but it's going to be close at the line.
Here they come to the line. At the line,
Young is your current leader. 2 laps to go.
2 laps to go. Being a little aggressive back there between Rayloff and Ayers back there. They're trying to prove that they got a point, but they're not helping out each other. But here comes Will. Here comes Gutierrez pushing the issue. This is going to be exciting.
And Delacroix, if she can get by, she has shown she has a strong car.
Petty Motor Club, could they get this win? Sky Motorsports is Carl Young. He's gonna come off turn 4. Here they come. White flag is out.
Carl
White
Young,
flag is out.
get advantage right now as someone's leaving pit road. It's Sessom. This could
Oh my
not go
god.
well. It doesn't go well.
Whoa. Here it is.
Sessom LePage, the field. Dirt Crusher was the one involved in that.
World. What the world? Are they gonna race their way back? They
Carl
are. They're
Young.
racing their way back. Young with a huge advantage.
And
Here
I
they
think
come.
that wreck will end it as Amy Hicks has a mechanical failure.
Here they come. Heartbreak. Here they come to the line. It is
It's
going to be
Carl
the 61.
Young.
Carl Young wins the Gracious Going 500.
What a
Wow.
finish.
Whoa. What a finish and what a way to end it.
First,
Blade Blossom has just become the enemy of the field. Oh
this,
my gosh.
man, what a way. Yeah, you're right. For a LePaging of the field to just someone just blowing up at the end, losing her chance to win it all, to Sky Motorsports.
Oh
He
my
just won
god.
door 2, and he is your race winner.
Wow. Unbelievable. I believe Selsom will be given a stern talking to by the officials.
But you have to remember that they were allowed to do that during the duels, and that was emphasized during the drivers' meetings. I mean, yes, the
They,
officials will take another look at this, as soon we will too. These standings are unofficial, but
yes.
as it stands, Carl Young will be your winner, and I think that's going to hold, followed by Alexander Will, and then Rosalind Delacroix, Angel Gutierrez, David Langford, Orlando Harlow, Cheryl King, the 51, Alec Trek, and then the 5, Atsukido Yoromina, and rounding out your top 10, it's Colin Cropley.
In the 79.
So yeah, we will get you a replay of the LePaging of the field by Sessom, and then we will actually show you the official results, followed by the point standings, and then leave you until next time at Homestead, Miami. Drone camera from Sessom as he leaves pit road. You will see how this paging of the field occurred.
Intentional.
I don't think that
Oh!
was. Oh
Dirt
wow.
Crusher went upside down!
Yeah, I know that they said that drivers had to be careful for
Merging.
cars merging, but I think Sessom should have been able to clearly see there was a bunch of cars moving. Yeah,
Oh
I'm not sure
boy.
what the officials are going to say about this, but he will definitely, after being checked through the infield care center, he will be going to that hauler.
And probably having a stern talking to. Here we go,
Helicopter
random.
view of this.
Watch Dirt Crusher. Oh no. And then, oh, Carol.
Harrell and Jones also got contact, as well as Langford. And that ends Dirt Crusher's race. And TJ Carroll's point of view, he
I was
had
about to
nowhere to
say.
go.
And I was about to say about Dirt Crusher. He was just sitting there, minding his own business, doing a good job, and then all of a sudden he gets taken out by some guy that shouldn't have been there in the first place.
But yes,
Like,
you are allowed to leave that area, but it is the car leaving the area's responsibility to make sure that there's no one there, because they were going three wide. There was no way they could have tried to avoid that. Like, if it was two
No,
wide, you could make the argument for it, but not three wide.
no, absolutely not.
And before we leave
No,
you with the final results and the points, Bobby Jones's view.
just God, just had nowhere to go.
Yeah, you definitely know exactly what happened here.